Welcome to this 1-hour webinar related to the master's program in mechanical engineering in Aalto University. I will introduce everybody here in a minute, but my name is aalto-yliopisto. I'm the head of the program and I'm professor of ice mechanics in Aalto University. What are we going to talk about today? So we are first going to start with some general information about Aalto University and Finland. Then we are going to talk about the master's program in mechanical engineering. We have included some student perspectives to our presentation and some examples of the major studies and major study options in our program. In addition, we're going to talk a little bit about the research at the department, and why we want to do that is that we have a program that is in fact quite research oriented. So we actually do research on the topics that we teach. And we have also reserved some time for some questions and answers from the audience as well. So before we start, really, maybe it's time to introduce who is here. So like I said, my name is aalto-yliopisto, professor of ice mechanics, and then maybe the rest of the people want to introduce yourself as well.
Hi, I'm Panu Kiviloma. It looks like I'm from the Arctic Technology, but actually this is me after cycling to work some winter morning. I'm principal university lecturer, which means that I can pretty much focus on teaching at our university.
Hi all, I'm Petteri. I'm a student here at Aalto. My major is Mechatronics, and I'm also currently working at the Air-rotor Research Lab as a research assistant, working primarily with aerostatic bearings.
Sam, so sorry we cannot hear you. I think your microphone has something funny going on.
Okay, how about now?
Now it's working.
Okay, the two had selected different microphone than I was intending to use. So, my name is Samson Laakso. I'm a professor of manufacturing processes and systems. I've been here in Aalto since September, but I'm also alumni of the university, so I know the facilities pretty well. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Katri Koistinen. I'm the planning officer of the mechanical engineering program, so I'm taking care of the curriculum, helping students to make the selections and with the all administrative and practical side of the program together with my colleagues. So welcome.
Good. Thank you. And before we continue, I still want to just remind you that please feel free to share all the questions in the chat throughout this webinar. We have reserved, like I said, we have reserved time then to answer your questions later on during this webinar today. Couple of words about Aalto University. So Aalto University is in fact quite a young university, I would say. So Aalto University itself started at 2010, but that does not mean that we wouldn't have sort of a strong tradition behind the school here. So we are in fact a merger of 3 top universities in Finland, and those universities are Helsinki University of Technology, University of Arts and Design of Helsinki, and Helsinki School of Economics. And as you see, our tradition goes back to 170 years or something like this, in fact. But in 2010, these 3 universities were put together, and that sort of shows, I think, in pretty much everything that you will see in the campus of our university. The campus itself, it's located in Otaniemi, which is about 15-minute metro ride from downtown. We are well connected to downtown Helsinki. I would describe the campus as being next to the nature. The location is very nice, peaceful. As an example, if I want to do so, I can run here, or I can ride a bike here from my house and be almost all the way in a forest. But like I said, I mean, even if we are close to the nature and so on, we are also close to the downtown. We're connected by metro. We also have nowadays a tram line that can take us around the town. The campus itself is nice in a way that we have all the services close by: restaurants, cafes, grocery stores, and of course study facilities, libraries, labs, studios, and workshops. And one distinctive feature is as well that the Otaniemi campus area has a lot of student housing, which is then of course naturally very well connected to both to the university and downtown Helsinki. We are located in Finland, and Finland as a country, what we always like to bring up is that we are, it has been studied, and the result is that we are the happiest country in the world. And here I have the years from 2018 to 2023, but my understanding is that even more recent years we have been chosen to be the happiest country in the world. There are a few reasons what has probably led to this, or are at least correlate with this success, is that Finland is a very safe and clean country. Like our university is close to the nature. I mean, nature is really everywhere close by in Helsinki area as well. We have sort of a strong respect towards equality and freedom of speech. And one thing that shows in everyday life also here in the university, how professors interact with students and so on, that we have very low hierarchy in Finland in general. And that's something that we are proud of. Even though if you look at the map, then you see that Finland is quite up there in the north and seems to be alone. We are anyways very well linked internationally as well. So from Helsinki, you can fly all over Europe in few hours. So we can be reached quite easily, I would say. But that's it about this general introduction. Then a few words about the master's program in mechanical engineering. So I would start by giving you a couple of reasons why I think that our program is unique and why it is an attractive place to come to study. First is that we are a very highly international program, and that shows both in the teaching staff, in our university and researcher staff as well, or all the academic staff, I would say, and that shows also in our student population. So we have a strong presence of international students in our program. And in our program, we teach pretty much everything in English. We have a flexible program. So as you will see in a minute, our program is in fact having a lot of options for majors, 7 altogether. And what that reflects is the fact that we work under the Department of Energy and Mechanical Engineering, which is a very large department, in fact. And that also reflects in the fact that our program is actually one of the largest of the whole Aalto University. Then I would say that our education and also research has a strong focus in sustainability. So mechanical engineering these days, I would say a lot of its novel applications are related to, in fact, in developing sustainable solutions for pretty much everything, because if you look around you will see mechanical engineering pretty much everywhere. Our program is built in a way that we do have, in fact, 7 majors: mechatronics, engineering materials, production engineering, product development, marine technology, Arctic marine technology, and solid mechanics. We do have some compulsory studies that belong to, or all of our students, no matter what major you take, you have to take. But then we offer a clear path including the major studies where you actually get to specialize into a, let's say, to gain the type of expertise that is of your interest. And as you see from the list of majors, they actually have a lot of disciplines covered. So if you are more inclined to do, let's say, some type of traditional or let's say numerical work related to design of structures, you might want to choose solid mechanics. If you're interested on ships, you might want to choose marine technology. If you're related or if you are interested on, let's say, developing new products, designing new products, you might want to choose product development and so on. And we will be introducing a couple of these majors in a minute. The career opportunities, I mean, similarly to how our program is, vary a lot. So you actually, by entering to mechanical engineering program and by graduating from the mechanical engineering program, open a lot of doors for different types of careers. So typical ones being consulting in design, management, computational modeling related to design of products or different types of engineering applications, product development or production. Or if you're interested on continuing on an academic path, the degree in mechanical engineering also opens you doors on doctoral studies at Aalto University or some other internationally top-level university as well. But that's maybe now enough of my talking, and maybe now I give the floor to Petteri. So I have now tried to convince you about the nice sides of our program, but then Petteri can maybe tell if this is all true or not.
Thank you, Arttu. Yeah, so in my opinion, Aalto has a very large range of interesting courses and also very easily accessible research infrastructure. Now, what this means for you is that during project courses or courses that have some project incorporated in the course itself, you are actually able to develop the project using the equipment that we have here on site at the department or even at other departments. Also, projects that you may be doing on your own time, so personal projects you can also develop here as well. I'm majoring in mechatronics with focus on measurement technology, since my work is mostly focused on sensors. Also, I am minoring in electrical engineering, so I have multiple electrical engineering courses in my freely selected courses. Internship, well, not really an internship per se, but I am indeed working in research at aalto. My research topic covers aerostatic bearings as capacitive displacement sensors, so this more abstract devices as sensors kind of idea where we take some component with pre-existing features that we want to measure and then using those features as sensors so that we can bypass the need for external sensors and therefore have cheaper and more flexible products. I have planned my thesis to be non-contact electrostatic damping for fiber optic cable manufacturing. Essentially, we are trying to use electrostatic fields to control vibrations in fiber optic cable while manufacturing the fiber optic cable. And some tips that I will share is fail fast, succeed faster. This is, I think, the Design Factory has mostly been using this one-liner, but it's true. If you have some wild ideas, you can actually prototype them, you can develop them, and if the idea is good, it will take off. If it's not that good, or if it needs some work, you will find out fast, which then allows you to succeed faster. That's, I think, my view. So, Arttu, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Petteri. Thank you, Petteri. Next we move to presenting a few of these majors in our program, and I think the first one we are going to talk about is Mechatronics major. And Panu, here I give you the floor.
Thank you. As you already heard, Petteri is fine examples of our mechatronics major. I'm the responsible teacher for mechatronics major, and as you might have already got the idea, mechatronics is about mechanics and electronics, and nowadays, of course, we add the computer science and communication technology. It's pretty much something that every product that you know already contains these elements. So there is no more. We like to say that mechatronics is modern day machine design. There's no machine without these mechatronics features. And of course, you know, this is the thing of the future. We are one of the biggest majors in mechanical engineering. So I would highly recommend you taking mechatronics, if I may say so. We have flexible education. Mechatronics is a kind of tricky major because there are so many things you can do, but you can only get expert in maybe some narrow field. So you can choose what is your field. We have 4 research groups in mechatronics. We have aalto, where Petteri is working. That's about machine dynamics, rotating paper machine rolls or electric motors and stuff like that. Also condition monitoring things, AI, machine learning and stuff like that. Then we have autonomous mobility lab. You can see example of our self-driving Lexus called Alex there. We have also, next one would be the digital twin lab, which is more about this digitalization of design and machines. And then the last one would be fluid power systems. So we have 4 research groups working in mechatronics, and then you can choose, when you take our major, you can choose courses from these different disciplines, what feels most comfortable for you, for example. Or then you can add their courses from School of Electronics and School of Science if you want to learn more about programming or more about electronics or electric machines and stuff like that. We have 2 compulsory courses, Mechatronics Machine System Design and Mechatronics Project, and the rest of you is up to you. The rest of the courses is up to you. We have a long list of courses and you can choose 5 courses from them. Maybe we can go to the next slide. And the kind of high point of our major is Mechatronics Project. You can take it already the first year spring. It's a hands-on project that the topics come typically from our own research. So one of these 4 research groups, or every year we have a couple of topics from industry as well. Here you can see some pictures. In the middle you can see the old Saab, which was made remotely controllable vehicle in just 3 months last spring. There are other examples. The bucketing that was done for steelmaker Outokumpu, and then we have one for Konecranes. So these are all big companies working in Finland and also employing our students. But the Mechatronics Circus is the high point, end gala of our Mechatronics project. There are over 500 guests coming from industry, from schools around the Otaniemi and so on. And then there you get to present the outcome of your projects. And then after the circus, we go to Tallinn University of Technology to a Baltic Mechatronics Symposium, where we also present these results of these projects. And I guess in the middle bottom picture, is it Petteri there in the picture? I think so.
That's me.
Was it so that you got the best paper in the conference then?
Yes, either the best paper or the best presentation.
Yeah, either of them, yes. Well done anyway. So there's also research part in this project. It's a short time, but we have succeeded every year. And I think now Petteri has a couple of slides to tell about his project in this course.
Yes. So
if I
this is
stop sharing, and Petteri, you I guess have to share now.
yes. So let me see if I can share my entire screen here, and here we go. Can you guys see the
Yes.
slides? Awesome. So essentially our project was measuring the laser power or optimizing the laser power in this tunnel scanning LIBS application. So the initial question was why are section samples still analyzed topside in mining environments? And the problem is essentially so that in mining we are basically excavating these sections of rock material and bringing it topside. But the problem is that our vein might be completely depleted or going to a different direction than the direction that we are digging at. And the geologists cannot keep up nowadays with the digging speed. So we might be excavating up to 4 meters every 6 hours or every 3 hours, and there's no time to stabilize the roof and floor to take the samples safely. Now, our idea was to incorporate a laser LIBS scanning system where we shoot a scan laser to the rock wall and then measure the atomic emission from the plasma with a spectroscope to determine the mineral contents in each spot on the wall. And by scanning the whole of the wall, we can see what type of minerals do we have in the rock face. And therefore, we get the real-time data that we can use for digging and optimizing the angle of the tunnel or even do the decision to stop excavating in that section completely and saving a lot of money and resources that way. And essentially what we developed during this course was this scanning system where we had a high-powered laser, then this telescope arrangement where we could focus the beam into the rock wall depending on the distance. And then we had the spectroscope with the concave mirror to actually take the measurements of the atomic emission spectrums. And these spectrums look something like this. And we were want to hear some more pictures of the samples and the setup that we utilized. And here's the device in action. And here we have also a little video of it shooting. So, of course, with these projects where we are using some dangerous materials or technologies such as these lasers, which can blind you in nanoseconds, we, of course, take the proper safety precautions. So, what we found out, we were able to measure these samples with 60 megawatt beam power. And therefore, we are able to bring the cost of the laser system from 75,000 euros down to maybe 2,000 euros, therefore making the project viable in the industrial methods or industrial sector. And after this project concluded, we actually applied for funding from Business Finland. The decision has not come through yet, but this might be a research to business topic in the near future. And here's some pictures of us utilizing the device in a test tunnel here in Otaniemi. So yeah, thank you.
Would you, Petteri, recommend Mechatronics project for other students?
Absolutely. I don't think there's of course the product development project, but I think the Mechatronics course is the Mechatronics project course is even better since it's more condensed and more focused on one research topic. So you can actually dive a little bit deeper into one certain topic, one certain project than you would maybe during the product development project. Of course, that's a really good course as well.
Nice to hear. Thank you, Petteri. And this was not paid commercial.
Thank you, Petri. Looks very interesting and really nice results. Next, I think I will give the floor to Sampsa, who will then describe shortly what kind of major is product engineering major.
All right, production engineering. It's one of the oldest fields in Helsinki University of Technology. It was the professorship number 6 back in the day, called mechanical technology. And in this major, the students will learn different skills that are oriented to working in metal industry, industrial manufacturing sector. And basically, the students will learn all of the most fundamental processes like machining, casting, forging, sheet metal production, additive manufacturing, and other processes. And the production engineering, it's not only about the processes, but also about the production control. So it's kind of a combination of manufacturing technologies and industrial management. And also things like quality, different production philosophies like lean and agile manufacturing are gone through in the courses. And my personal take on manufacturing is very heavily based on simulations, so what we call virtual manufacturing. So we are simulating all of the manufacturing processes before rolling them into the actual factory floor to improve the production rate and get rid of mistakes before actually making the mistakes. And if you click, there's a couple of simulations that the students will do during the courses. Like here's a 3D printing simulation and how the part is removed from the build platform and how the stresses and deformations change during the heat treatment and removal of the part. And then very fundamental casting simulation, we can simulate the filling of the mold and then solidification of the part. And we have also a project course called Industrial Project. There's students are teamed in two student teams. They work on industry, usually different factory planning, factory operations, improvement projects that will take about 2 semesters or 2 periods, total of 200 hours working in the company. And then the companies are sponsoring the students to go for a couple of weeks abroad excursion, visiting different factories. Usually the abroad visits are every year to either Asia, Europe, or Americas. This year, just a couple of weeks ago, we were in Poland and visited multiple factories there with the students. So get more like a real life experience also how the manufacturing environments look like. Thank you.
Thank you, Sampsa. Beautiful simulations, I have to say. Really nice. Then I'm going to say a few words about the research at the department, and the reason for this is that, like I mentioned, our majors and our studies here are built, let's say, in a research-oriented fashion, so that in fact we do research on the topics that we teach. A central part of the research and studies as well in our university are some of the infra that we have. The most, how would I say, significant being the Aalto Ice and Wave Tank, the Design Factory, AdLab, and Industrial Internet Campus. And Aalto Ice and Wave Tank is a 40 times 40 meter ice basin, the biggest in the world by area, where actually my group does ice testing. There you see a picture of a ice-going ship or an icebreaker being tested in our ice tank. Design Factory is an experimental co-creation platform. Mostly, or I would say the students who study product development spend a lot of their time in Design Factory. It's a really nice, interesting building to visit for other people as well, of course. AdLab, on the other hand, is is infra related to especially 3D printing, but also digital design and manufacturing in general. And Industrial Internet Campus relates a lot to AI and Internet of Things and such topics. Few words about the type of research that I do and my group does, and what you would be sort of then learning about if you would end up studying Arctic marine technology in our program is offshore wind and sea ice. So in short, I would describe this as a topic, and why this is a topic of my interest, for example, is that, as we all know, there's a lot of marine, let's say, offshore wind developments, offshore wind energy developments all around the world at the moment. Some of those are on the Baltic Sea. And of course, now the question is that when Baltic Sea freezes every year, what happens to the offshore wind turbines? So what we want to do is to be able to design offshore wind turbines in a way that they actually survive the winters, and so that we could actually optimize the structures so that they are economically feasible to build, to basically accelerate green transition. Where I do my research, and this is also where the students get to actually do hands-on experiments themselves, is this aalto ice and wave tank. So here's the picture of it, 40 times 40 meters, a basin where you can actually generate an ice cover. And to make this short, I'm just going to show you a video of model scale testing of a wind turbine. So what you have here in this video, if I get it to run, is basically a hybrid test setup, which let me see if I can get this running. A hybrid test setup where we actually read the ice force acting on this cylinder, which is now behaving as if it would be a wind turbine. So it's basically being pushed by ice, and it always springs back after a while. And what we are doing here is that we measure the ice load, we move the structure as it would move under ice loads, and we with the goal that we would see that if the structure starts to vibrate when it's moving through the ice. And of course, I mean, an actual wind turbine would not move through the ice, but the ice would move against the wind turbine. So this is the type of research that I do, and this is the type of things that, for example, I teach in our major. Then a few words about the internship possibilities and administrative and so on, and maybe Panu here, I then give you the floor again.
Thank you, Arttu. Yes, of course, in university it's one thing to take courses and study different subjects, but another thing is get some practical experience on things, and there comes the internships, and we have a lot of opportunities for internships. Of course, we have research group at Aalto where you can always ask. Petteri is a good example. Petteri has now been working probably during all your studies.
Yes.
At aalto, yes. Okay, that's a very good way to deepen your knowledge and build your engineering identity as well. It has been studied that it has a strong effect on you when you get to do something real engineering. Or in companies, of course, and we have big companies pretty close to capital area. Konecranes, Valmet, for example, big Finnish companies, ABB, another one, taking a lot of machine designers at least for internships. And we have university career services that can help you to find a place for you. Of course, the times have been tough late years because of the markets, but I think it's getting better now in the near future. But it's up to you finally. Okay, and then next slide. What it's about student exchange, another great opportunity that you can take. You don't have to spend all your time here at Aalto, even though it would be nice. You can take, for example, 1 period, 2 periods, spring term in some other universities. Again, we have different opportunities, for example, Erasmus programs and stuff like that. Maybe Katri can tell more about these later. It's strongly supported. Again, of course, it's a challenge to fit this exchange period to your normal studies, but then finally you can always negotiate with Arttu how to fit these studies in our program. Okay, let's go forward. Student life at Aalto-Uni, Arttu already mentioned that Otaniemi, the campus, is a very nice place. It's a large place near sea, a lot of activities, sports, games. I even heard that there will be a rock festival next summer in Otaniemi. That would be nice. So there are a lot of activities and it's developing all the time. There are a lot of new activities coming in Otaniemi all the time. And it's easy also to get away from Otaniemi nowadays because we have the metro, if you want so. And then student benefits. Finland offers a lot of student benefits, student discounts. There are no places where you go that wouldn't offer student discounts, I believe. Can you, Petteri, agree?
Yes, I can. So most of the places have student discounts.
Yeah.
Even if they don't get compensated by the government, but they will, for example, sell you a little bit cheaper food or even drinks. Like there's multiple bars as well which sell beer, for example, at the student discount prices and
Yes.
such.
Yes, very good. We want to take care of our students. And we have our own system for student housing that can help you to find place for accommodation here in Otaniemi. And also something that I don't know if any other universities offer this, but we have these good health services also here, even dental care. We want to take care of you. And then maybe this would be Katri's.
Yes, my turn. So you can find all the admission information on our web pages. And as you might already check out, the web application period for masters is once a year, and it starts next Monday, 1st of December for the autumn 2026. So it's time to make decisions soon. There are all the application instructions. Check, because there might be a little bit different documents needed depending on your background. For example, if you are from Finland or if your bachelor degree is from Finland or from abroad. And there are also information about the tuition fees and scholarship and admission requirements. Note that there are the general requirements to Aalto Masters program, what documents you need to submit, and then there are study option specific documents, and our program, those study option specifics are motivation letter and CV, curriculum vitae. There are tips for writing these. So if I can give one, tell why you want to come to our program, so that our academics, when they are evaluating, can read it from your. And if you have questions relating to the application process, what kind of documents you need to submit, etc., please contact admissions at Aalto-fi. Even if I know a lot of these, we have the division that they answer so that they can give correct and fair answers. And if you want to ask something about our majors, our program specific questions, please contact our master. Is it? I think this should, but this is an old address, so it's master studies -eng. I will write it after I have to stop talking to the chat. please. It is in our study pages. This will come, but it might be that we don't remember to check it so often with this address. So in any case, don't hesitate to, or you can apply to 2 options in this coming round. So one thing relating to study option specific documents, remember to upload them to both options if there is a question. We don't see if you apply as a first option to some program and as second option to another program. We only see that options. There are good guidelines in study application system, but remember when you are sending them. And it's good to be in time, so that don't leave it to last minute, because that application period ends in 2nd of January at 3 o'clock Finnish time. So there might be some rush hours then. So be in good time. And I warmly can recommend our program. We have 7 majors. You have a lot of opportunities to tune your career. And what wasn't mentioned in the slides, we also have a career service helping you to find, for example, those summer jobs or modify your applications to work and so on.
Thank you, Katri. Thank you, Katri. And I think that pretty much ends this part where we are presenting. And now I think that we should open the floor for questions. So if you have any questions, then please use this Q&A option in Zoom and ask us. Now it's the time. And I don't see any open questions at the moment. I see one answered question here, which was that is it possible for an international student to join a research internship at Aalto University before starting September-October 26 intake? I will be applying for the master's program in mechanical engineering for the 26 September-October intake. And Samsa has here answered that my understanding is that it is possible if your home university has an exchange agreement with Aalto. Now, maybe I ask Katri that do we have such formal requirements for these internships or how do these work in general? Sorry, Katri, you are now on mute, so we cannot hear you.
It's best to send an email to us. So I don't know if the time schedule is usually, for example, now we in next January has the application period to study next autumn and next spring. So it might be that the time scale is a little bit in rush. But you can send a message to, and we will find out more detailed answer to that, because we have a separated this international unit in our team, so they know more about which universities we have the cooperation, those exchange agreements, and so on.
And here there's two questions which are not yet answered. The first one is that I completed my bachelor's degree from the University of Mumbai. Since I have already finished my studies at my home university, is it possible for me to apply for a research internship at Aalto University? And my understanding is that nothing stops for applying, at least. I don't know if there is anything that other people have have to add to that?
Well, for me, for example, I actually started working at Aalto before I started my studies. So I think it might be possible.
Petter is probably right that if you it's up to everybody's own activity, that nothing stops you from approaching different research groups or different professors and asking to work in their group. I mean, then it's up to the individual professors, I guess, if they will end up recruiting you. Another question here is that would you encourage students with a data engineering and machine learning background to apply for the mechatronics major, even if they lack electronics or physics knowledge?
I think I could answer this. So, for example, here at aalto, we have one group or one section of the group solely focused on machine learning applications in the field of mechatronics or mechanical engineering, in, for example, condition monitoring or what was the other one, but mostly condition monitoring. So yes, I think the applying machine learning in mechatronics is really useful thing to have, and of course you don't need to have background in electronics or physics, since that's what most of our machine learning guys don't have either, but are learning as they. Yeah.
And I would extend this answer also into a way that these days these machine learning topics and AI related topics tend to appear everywhere. For example, in physical simulations, which I do a lot. I also do know that in our product development group, they do AI assisted product development all the time and so on. So I think that there are a lot of opportunities with people with the background that was mentioned. Then there's a question: does the university offer combined master's plus and PhD program in mechanical engineering? So a typical way how this is done nowadays in Aalto is that the students first study their master and then can apply for the doctoral studies. So there is no real combined program in that sense. But if you are interested on continuing on some sort of academic career or interested on PhD studies, then when you enter our program, you want to be active and talk to the professors and research groups that are of your interest and try to get to know them, perhaps apply for internship positions and so on. And sometimes it might be so, it could come closest to this kind of combined master's and PhD program. Sometimes it could be so that you end up working on a master's thesis that could be very closely related to the topics that you might want to then do your PhD studies on, and perhaps can form sort of a start or even part of your PhD studies. Then I see that there are more questions. So if we completed the bachelor's degree from AMK, so the University of Applied Sciences in Finland, and need to apply for master's in Aalto, is there any restrictions during the evaluation process because of the change from industrial focus to research focus? And I don't think that there is any restrictions in a way that when we go through the applications, then we go them through sort of case by case, and AMK background is often quite suitable background for our studies and so on.
Are the bridge studies anymore required for physics and mathematics?
No.
Okay.
Not that I would be aware of. So basically what you want to do, perhaps at the stage that you are actually applying, is to sort of justify how your studies, because you are writing as part of your application a motivation letter, so you want to sort of make it clear how your background from the University of Applied Science would fit the type of expertise that you are looking for in our program. Then there's a question that is relevant work experience considered during the admission process. The short answer is that yes, it is. So when you again write your motivation letter and when you prepare your CV and so on, be very clear what kind of work experience you have, and you want to sort of make sure that we understand how that work experience supports your studies or your intended area of where you want to gain the expertise of. Then what is the estimated cost of living for an international student? And I have to say that I am not sure because I have not studied in a long time, but we have one student here who might be able to estimate the costs for a student in a month.
Yeah, well, that highly depends. For me, I use monthly for food and groceries, etc. Maybe around 200 to 300 euros, something like that. And then the rest depends on the cost of your rent and your utilities, and also if you have any other expenses. But if, let's say, you have student housing that costs 450 to 600 euros per month, and then you can get by with the 200 euro budget for groceries or food, etc. And then you in the student housing, the electricity is and water is included into the cost of rent already, so that is quite affordable. So I'd say around 800 to 1,000 euros per month approximately would be enough to sustain yourself nicely.
Thank you, Petteri. Then the next question is that I'm currently a bachelor student in computational engineering. So I'm assuming here that this is the computational engineering, maybe in Aalto University program, bachelor's programs. What electives/minor courses would you recommend for bachelor student to take to pursue mechatronics major? And my understanding is that depending on what your final what are you looking for as your final expertise, it could be any other of our majors. But Panu, maybe you are able to describe this a little bit more in detail.
I totally agree. It's a personal thing. What do you want to do? Or what are your interests? But I would say anything related to mechanical engineering, maybe production engineering as well, product development, even solid mechanics. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Because mechatronics is always a combination of different things. So I would look for things that you are interested and feel motivated to study.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Panu. Then there's a question that do students need to apply separately for student housing, or are international students automatically considered for it? And I have to again admit that I am not sure. Katri, would you have an answer for this?
There is a separate application process, so university doesn't kind of administrate them, but of course we have two operators here in Helsinki area. There is AYY, the student union owns houses. They are currently building more here in Otaniemi. And then there is a HOAS who is more they have houses here in Otaniemi and also in nearby areas, and you can apply for both organizations. And of course, in addition to this, there are in the private housing, but I'm quite sure that it's possible to get a house. There are different times if you want a kind of, how you call it, a studio house. It might be a longer cure if you are willing to accept a housing with your own room and bathroom, and then common maybe some areas, then it might be easier to get those. But I know that nowadays we have good connections here. We have metro so the places which used to be more far away are now connected via metro line, and also, for example, Leppävaara is now reachable via tram line. So I'm just be in time when you hopefully get accepted to the university, that you have accepted the study place, start applying. So start it in good time.
Good, thank you, Katri. Then other open questions. I have completed my bachelor's degree in Tampereen ammattikorkeakoulu's University of Applied Science in Tampere, in Finland, in mechanical engineering. Do I need to complete more advanced mathematical courses before applying to Aalto? And the answer is that to my best understanding, no. If I'm wrong here, then Katri can maybe correct me.
You are eligible to apply with that background. Of course, depending how well you have succeeded in your math studies, then it might be that you might like to take some extra. If you take extra courses here, you can put them into your electives. But we have students from Tampere who have studied here, and I have a feeling that most of them haven't studied, if you have a good background. But that is something you can then test.
Yeah, so it's not required, but if you want to do it, then we probably might even recommend it, and in some cases, and anyways, you can include those studies in the electives. Good. Then, that if the bachelor is from Mechatronics and robotic automation engineering, what would you recommend as the first option? Master's program in mechanical engineering, major in mechatronics, or automation and electrical engineering, Master of Science, major in control, robotics and autonomous systems in Aalto. So I guess my answer here is, of course, as a head of the mechanical engineering program, that you should consider mechanical engineering majors or mechanical engineering program. Then there is a question that I live in Iran. Do my educational documents need to be legalized at the Finnish embassy? And this is something that I do not know the answer. Katri, do you possibly?
I always recommend to check the application applying pages. There are country by country guidelines, and if there is no clear answer, please contact admissions at aalto.fi to get the exact answer.
And then there's a question: are there any scholarships available for international students? And again, Katri, I think I have to turn to you for the latest
we have
information on
a few.
this.
They are shared when we have done the academic evaluation. They are then shared by academic merit. So we have a certain amount of them, and we look at who are on top of the applicants. And unfortunately, there are not scholarships for everybody. But what I can say that it's still worth applying, and we do have students who pay the tuition fee, and hopefully our degree is good.
It is, of course, good, and
it is.
I mean, but more information on this, I think that you can find.
Yeah. But remember to apply it
as well.
At the same time when you submit your application. There is no separate later application. So there is a question if you apply the scholarship when you apply to program.
Good. And I think that we are starting to come to the end of this one hour webinar. So I guess that as a final thing, what I would recommend is that should you have any questions or something related to the admissions or related to master studies in Aalto University, so remember these two email address is admissions@aalto.fi, and this master studies at aalto.fi. And other than that, I would say that we hope that you apply, and we hope to see you soon here in our mechanical engineering master program. So thank you